like that is her delusion. She's like, horrible things have happened to me, which I believe, because I don't think you end up like her and have not been traumatized. But she's like, look at me, I'm a martyr, I'm a victim. And it's like, no, we've all watched you aggress, terrorize children, like lie on people. Like, yeah, you're not a victim, but in her head, right, as a child, she was. And so it's like, it's interesting psychologically to watch these people. And by the way, you're gonna hear me saying this a lot because I want to correct something. If you followed me long enough to watch me go around and like work on Kamala's campaign for free, I've never accepted money for political endorsements. I was often, watching, interviewing like Ruben Gallego and other people, and like I just over and over was right next to this woman. Like, I think we stood next to each other, touching shoulders at times. And I was like, and they'd be like, here's like our newest candidate, like freshman running for Congress, Yasamin Ansari. And I was like, oh God, like we don't have time for this. Like, she's probably not going to win. And like, who's she going to be? I was wrong. I'm telling you, I cannot express how wrong I was. Yasamin Ansari is the new AOC, and we need her in Arizona. This woman is, I mean, unbelievably intelligent, unbelievably aggressive, and strategic. And I am just honored to just say, thank God I stood next to her and touched her shoulder. Like, this woman is going to be someone. Like, I don't even know if it's her first year in Congress. I didn't even show anyone this because I was like, I don't know why she's doing this. Like, we'll see. She like set up a table outside of Mike Johnson's office. It was like, Mike Johnson refuses to come to work, so I'll answer questions for him. She has proved me wrong. Like, this woman is a keeper. She is tenacious, and thank God, because we need this person in Arizona. So just remember this name, because I'm telling you, she is a force.
Because she is, I mean, you're right. If she had not signed on to that discharge petition, this wouldn't have happened. I mean, this bill wouldn't have ever made it to President Trump's desk. Obviously, Lauren Boebert and Nancy Mace as well, along with Thomas Massie. But given, what she has faced as a result of that, do you worry that other Republicans won't be willing to do so, or do you think that this will make them more willing to do so?
I just think we're past that now when it comes to the Epstein files issue. I think that, the survivors are not going anywhere. The oversight committee, at least on the Democratic side, we are not going anywhere. We are going to get to the truth and make sure people are held accountable for this. I think largely on just Republicans more broadly, I think the Republican Party is an absolute mess right now. I mean, I think Speaker Mike Johnson completely embarrassed himself this week and over the last couple of months, flip-flopping on this issue, and then having Donald Trump turn around and essentially endorse Republicans signing on to this bill. He looked really, really ridiculous and all of that. And so I think the Republican caucus in general, the cracks are there. They're just going to deepen from here. But I do hope that more Republicans will show the same type of bravery and standing up to the authoritarianism, to the corruption, to the fact that the Republican Party has no plan on health care, their ties to special interests, and so much more. And when it comes to the Epstein files, again, I assure you that oversight Democrats and the oversight committee is not going to back down until we get the files released once and for all.
Because she is...
That's what I want to say. Like, if you, do you know how hard it is to have be your first year in Congress and be clipped by Asen, who's like now he's like the editor of clips for Midas Touch, but like before that he just, like, I'm telling you, she is somebody. And like, if you knew it, it's kind of funny because she's like from the west side of Phoenix, like her district. I was like, oh God, like this, I hope, like, who knows, I should like, that's the beauty. It's like with women in Congress, like, because nobody will listen to women. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Nobody will listen to you. Think about it. Look at Kamala Harris and how people like, I couldn't get on board. She was dumb. And it's like, no, she was the most qualified candidate for president in the history of all candidates for president. And you could not get on board. So if you want to earn respect as a woman, think, how did Jasmine Crockett do? You know what I mean? You've got to fight, claw, scratch. And, well, I wouldn't describe that with Jasmine. She's a force that just moved her way in and created space. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to just be like, listen, you are an idiot, and now I'm here to inform you of that repeatedly over and over until I have space. And not just with the right, who's like, F her, but on the left, right? You've got to convince men on the left in Congress, like of 200 something odd people, to make space for you. And she's just like, excuse me, like, make some space for me. And there are very few people in their freshman year that get clipped as much as her, that just are like, hey, if you're not going to give me space, I'm going to make space for myself and do things so you hear me. And I'm not saying this as someone who lives in Arizona. My worst flaw is I don't follow Arizona politics, like, until it's time and I need to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I need to, I do. But, like, I am very focused on Capitol Hill, what they call the Punch Bowl. That is the Secret Service name for Capitol Hill. And the way this woman is like, excuse me, I will, in fact, be heard. Like, if I would never, ever have thought she would force her way into this, like, she'd, especially being from like Glendale, Arizona. That doesn't mean to anyone to anything unless you're from the greater Phoenix area. But whoever this woman is, she's a winner. We need to follow her, and I am. And let's talk about another winner. And this is like even better. Adam Mockler. Like, I get it. And like, oh God, I still feel bad. If any of you listening now were there, like, there was this night, like, me and Joanna, and like, I can't remember who else was there. I don't know what happened, but I said something about how, like, I just thought, like, what if as many people that listen to Dean's live, listen to Joanna, Shantae's live, like, or something like that, and then this white lady from Australia came up and started screaming at me. Literally. And I still feel bad because she's like, I've watched you for years. Dean is an amazing person. He's never done anything wrong in his life, and you shouldn't say that. I was like, I'm not saying he has. I'm just saying, like, maybe we should listen to black women who are brilliant, you know. And I'm like, it's just crazy to me how, like, there's just these people that are like, I will die for Dean Withers. It's like, okay, then die for him. I think that's a weird cause. But let me just tell you something. And I'm not going to die for Adam Mockler, but I'll say something. And I'm going to say it now because I have, you know, I watch people silently. And that's the thing. I'm an observer. Like, Jay used to always say to me when we worked together, you don't know me. You don't know me at all. I've never told you anything about me. You don't know me. Stop acting like you know me. I don't need anybody to tell me about them to know who you are. Knowing someone is not what people tell you. What people say could be true, it could not be true. What people do, that is who people are. I don't need you to tell me who you are. I will watch who you are, and then I will know, right? And that is why I'm so interested in being, like, going to therapy, because it's not who I tell you I am. It's my pattern of behavior that tells who I am, right? Like, and that's the truth. And Adam Mockler, I am telling you, and let me just say something. If I had to choose of all these little TikTok stars, like Parker and his empathy, I think I would choose him as probably the leader, but his empathy is almost a crutch to him, because I think sometimes he will, like, shy away from the spotlight. But let me tell you something. Adam Mockler, and I'm calling it now, this man is not just a star on the internet. And I don't know, man, how old is this child? Can someone look up how old he is? I don't know. I'm telling you, he is a star. This is the second time, and I mean, like, Pete Buttigieg reincarnate? Is that you growing up in front of our eyes? And like to be, yeah, are you talking about The Darker Knight wrote Chris? Are you talking about Chris Mowry? Chris Mowry, yeah, like, ooh, there's a lot of reports about how he treats women that are super scary. So yeah, no, that's going to be a no, but you might not have any idea what I'm talking about. Because I like the aggression. The first time I saw Chris Mowry screaming in a car, I was like, yes, because I'm aggressive. But here's the problem with that type of aggression. Comes from a lot of trauma. Same reason I'm very honest about who I am, how damaged I still am. Like, I can't be like representing a large group. I mean, actually probably could in a good way, and I would do it with every ounce of energy. But I'm just saying, like, when you like that energy, that aggression that people on the internet like, it comes from a dark place that can also have dark results. That's all I'm going to say about that. But I want to say this. The people you see on the internet, which I'll say this, sometimes I always watch, like, and this is coming from that CNN roundtable that Abby Phillip hosts, and I'll see like these political pundits, and I'm just like, God, come to TikTok and debate. You will be eaten. Like, these people they would not last one day on a TikTok panel. They would be eaten alive. They would be like, I quit and I'm going home and taking all my toys and never coming back for any reason. And I talked about this, if you watch the People's Receipts, I think a month ago. The first time I saw Adam Mockler sit on Abby Phillip's panel, I don't think I ever showed you. He debated 3 people at the same time. Literally. And I mean, not aggressively, not like, let me tell you, and the reason I'm getting the most airtime is because I'm over talking everyone. Like, that's what I would do. I'd just be like, excuse me, I'm literally going, if anyone tries to talk, I'm talking louder. That's not, you can't operate the way I do. That's why I spend my time alone talking at people. Like, Adam Mockler is something special. Truly, the way he pivots, the way he communicates, it's very Mom Dommy, it's very Pete Buttigieg. It's a special skill to remain calm in situations where a normal person wouldn't remain calm. And I think where he gets that is, you know, he would stand outside of like Trump rallies and have conversations with crazy people threatening to unalive him. So talking to like clueless political pundits, the first time I saw him on that round table, he literally debated 3 people effectively, calmly, defeated every argument. And by the end, everyone's like, oh, that was you know, like when you can prove everyone wrong and then they're like, thank you for the experience of you embarrassing me. That was a lovely experience. Like, they literally thanked him for being right. And I was like, that is something I have not seen in a long time. He was on the show again yesterday, so I just wanted to show you a few clips. I'm telling you, I would bet all of my money on this kid. He will be somewhere, and I mean in big politics, doing big things. This kid is brilliant. He has the perfect temperament for this. Whoever this guy is, like, this is the guy that was fighting for Trump. It's like, he doesn't even have words to say. Like, it's like, why are you here, sir? Oh, he's the former, that's what it was. I never saw that. He's the former Republican leader of the New York City Council. Well, a 23-year-old calmly and respectfully dog walked you, and then you were like, you know, and the girl, the cute girl you'll see who doesn't speak, the reason she's not speaking is because the first time he was on the show, like calmly and very respectfully, dog walked her while dog walking 2 other people. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That was fine when she was supporting Trump, but now all of a sudden it's not?
It's like Marjorie Taylor Greene is realizing for the first time what it's like to be on the opposition side of Trump. She has clapped him on for years as he has over and over used the same vile rhetoric towards Democrats, towards other Republicans. But now she takes a principled stance for the first time and decides, I'm going to split with him on the Epstein files. And he goes scorched earth, calls her Marjorie Trader Greene, unendorses her over and
Trader
over.
Brown, he changed her.
It was so lazy too. He says, because green grass turns brown. This guy's losing his juice. But the point is, Donald Trump has kicked so many people out of public life because they don't want to be the subject of his ire. This is what Mike Pence has gone through. This is what Liz Cheney has gone through. This is what Alyssa Slotkin is going through right now. He calls Marjorie a traitor, says he wants to execute or hang Democrats.
That was fine when she was supporting Trump.
I find the other clips because it's like this is actually like no one fought him on this episode because the first episode like they were like, oh, who's this like child who's trying to talk, and then they that was the first time I was like, holy shit. He's like a dream weaver that like lulls people into a sense of security while informing them, see this girl, this is the one. I'm gonna see if I still have the clips. I had to delete so many things because like I need like or I have to get 6 more cell phones. See her side eye. She's bless her heart. I can't remember her name. She has no idea what she's talking about. But like that's the only like there's no Republic. Like if you're the problem with Republicans is the lines of logic are never going to be on your side. That's like why when I would debate with Pickles and like these young little gamer kids would show up, I'm like, your brain is working, like just keep thinking and you'll move left naturally. Like I don't need to correct you. Like if you can keep following lines of logic, then they move left. Like that's how I ended up here. Like, it's not a choice if you can think.
Loose.
Can I hop in on the MAGA fracture really quickly? Because one point that I think you missed is that people like Nick Fuentes or this America First movement are now going to be hardcore lobbying to get Marjorie Taylor Greene on their side, which will only accelerate this MAGA divide between a more, I don't know, anti-Israel, a more really, really populist movement versus now what's kind of becoming like the MAGA establishment, which is weird. So Nick Fuentes, he's a legitimate political operator. I know that he's like a hugely divisive dude online, but he is trying to make moves to gain leverage over the Republican Party. There's a very real chance that he capitalizes on this in such a way that Marjorie is then in his camp. I don't think that would be good for the current MAGA establishment.
I think loose.
Can I hop in on the MAGA fracture really quick?
Thing that's funny, and I invite go back and watch this. You can find like the whole thing goes straight through. The only person, because like normally when people talk fast, it's annoying to me. But what like he is just speaking and he's making perfect sense the entire time. Like and never like breaking stride, and the only person on this panel that kept up with him was the black woman. And I'm not talking about Abby, the host is black, but I mean there's a black woman sitting on the panel, and at times she'd just be like, and on top, great point, and on top of that he'd be like, thank you, I didn't think of it that way. And I'm like, oh my God, this is just amazing to watch, because it's like we've got 2 Trump supporters that are like, I don't even understand what the 2 smart people are talking about, so I'm just breaking the lines of logic. And then like this 23-year-old white child and a black woman are just like pinging back and forth off of each other. I was like, oh my God, this is fascinating to witness.
She has made almost no impact for her constituents. She has been divisive for the sake of being divisive.
That has never been a problem. I mean, explain that to me.
I want to say this because, listen to me. What you are going to see is and no offense to however he got into any position of power, he's not very smart. When conversations move fast, his brain shuts down. This is misogyny, right? Okay, this is what I will defend Marjorie Taylor Greene against. This guy's point is, hey, Marjorie Taylor Greene is just a dumb woman. When Trump does the same thing she does, he's smart. When another man says the exact same words as Marjorie Taylor Greene, he's clever and smart. But Marjorie Taylor Greene's just a dumb woman. Do you know what I'm saying? This is the problem with the right of allowing a woman to have a place. Just this is the problem. It's him right there. Like he's going. When I heard this, I was like, there it is. There's the problem. Like, if you're a white male, you're clever. If you're a woman, well, you have to be a white woman. If you're a woman with a tiny brain who's annoying men.
She has made almost no impact for her constituents. She has been divisive for the sake of being divisive.
That has never been a problem. I mean, explain that to me.
She learns it from Trump.
But hold on. But
I've also never said that she's this great person.
But don't you think
it's not that
her voters have never been, if that is true, I think Democrats would argue that is true. Republicans historically have not said that about her. But if that is true.
It's not true.
And her voters didn't really care until this moment, what does that say?
Look, what I was going to say is compare her to someone like Jim Jordan, who some people find abrasive. But
Jim Jordan is so dumb. Let me just say something about Jim Jordan is painfully dumb. Like, if his thesis statement is Jim Jordan is a genius, and this is my thesis statement, if you can't identify that Jim Jordan is a pathological liar, a coward, and an idiot, then that is telling of how dumb you are. It's an indictment of your intelligence. His statement is Marjorie Taylor Greene is dumb and Jim Jordan isn't. I don't know what a dumber thesis statement to argue could possibly. And then he's like, and Trump can say all the same things as Marjorie, and that's makes him smart and clever, and she's still dumb. Like, that's not a good point, sir.
Someone like Jim Jordan, who some people find abrasive. But his pugilistic style is to come with facts. He brings receipts, and maybe he rubs people the wrong way. But there's intention there, and there's a rationale. She just trolled people. She spent 4 years in the House of Representatives troll people for no reason. So, like,
well, she learned it from Trump.
Yeah, like,
Trump posts AI videos of Obama being arrested. Trump posts videos of Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero. Trump says
what's so different that she decides?
Marjorie Taylor Greene's style is downstream from Trump's style. It's not unique in any way.
Trump does all those funny things with an objective.
They're not funny. Wait, the execution of Democrats is funny.
The sombrero thing, like, I would, like, if I could put the sombrero on you, I think it's hysterical. Yeah,
Why?
I think it's funny.
What's
I think
funny?
it's fun. I think he's
So
making
what's the
fun of his
difference
opponents.
between what she does and what Trump does?
Exactly, you're defending it.
I think she does it for no purpose and for no gain, and she has nothing to show for
What's
it.
his purpose?
She has made almost.
When Trump is a dumbass idiot, it has a purpose. And when a woman is a dumbass idiot, it has no purpose. And Jim Jordan is intelligent and Marjorie Taylor Greene is not. Let me help you. That I don't think there's a dumber and I watch this panel every night and it's painful and I don't clip it because it's so painful. I don't want you guys to have to witness it. That's the dumbest claim I've ever heard made. Like, what? Jim Jordan is smart? I've watched he's the chair of judiciary, which is a disgrace to people beholden to the ethics of the bar everywhere. He lies regularly, disputes, like, and I don't know if he's lying or he's dumb. And I actually suspect it's a combination of both, but I assure you, he is not smart. Never has been. He's a coward. And you're basically saying, hey, if a man is a fucking idiot, it's funny. If a woman tells the same exact jokes, I hope she dies and goes away. Like, what? Trump, when Trump makes idiotic jokes that make no sense and are bigoted, hilarious. If a woman does the same exact thing because she learned it from him, idiotic. Like, that makes perfect sense. If you're a misogynist, bigot, and an idiot who does not know the difference between the truth and a lie. And I cannot stress this more. Jim Jordan lies all the time. And that's if I give him the biggest benefit of the doubt that he's not an idiot, then he's a pathological liar because he's not getting anything correct. I suspect half of that is he's an idiot. Like, if I had to name someone I looked up to in the Republican Party, the dead last person would be Jim. I fold like a lawn chair and let the Ohio State wrestling team be graped. And then I fold like a lawn chair again and don't help them get accountability, Jordan. That would never be the person. I'd be like, he's smart. And like when he says pugilistic, that has nothing to do with being smart. He's saying he fights. So does Marjorie, and she's an idiot who fights. Like, the Republican Party is so misogynistic. And this is my point. You were never going to win, Margarine. Thank you for recognizing that. They can't hear you talking because you're a woman. That's why men come into my life, they're like, there's a woman with a tiny brain with pigtails. No, if you found 20 of you, that would equal 1/10 of my You guys are all idiots. But I'm still a woman to them, so they're like, okay, I can pick on her because she's dumb. No, you're dumb. You're so dumb, it hurts me to have to converse with you all. But I'm just a woman, so they can't see it. Like, that's the scariest part about these people, is they're like... And I'm telling... I'll get into the Adam Mockler stuff later. I'm going to, work on his campaign. If I ever have to work in politics again, it will be for him. But I do love Jasmine's comments about Margarine, quitting. Because it is. She's taking her ball and going home. She's probably being blackmailed, too. But I'm just saying. Because, a lot of people have been threatened by Trump. They're just fine. Indict me. Let it all come out. Whatever. And she's quitting.
Shocking announcement from Congresswoman Green. What went through your mind when you first heard she was going to resign on January 5th?
You know what? Honestly, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You're on the other side of the president for 1 week and you can't take the heat. Imagine what it is to sit in my shoes, to not only be on the opposite side of him, but to have people like her who are constantly fanning the flames of hate. And imagine what those threats look like when you literally are someone like me. But at the end of the day, I know that I serve the people of Texas 30. And so my job isn't to be there and necessarily do whatever is going to make the president not be on my back, but instead is to focus on making sure that I can push forward with policies that are positive for Texas 30.
Shocking announcement from Congresswoman Green. What went through your mind when you first heard she was going to resign on January 5th?
You know what? Honestly, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You're on the other side of the president for 1 week and you can't take the heat. Imagine what it is to sit in my shoes, to not only be on the opposite side of him, but to have people like her who are constantly fanning the flames of hate. And imagine what those threats look like when you literally...
Sorry if it replayed. My dad just came in and I had to help it for a second. Everything's okay. Anyways. Because that's a great point. And here's my second favorite point she makes.
This really speaks to the fact that Marjorie, who has been an instigator of a lot of this hate that we see as it relates to the MAGA movement, it's just interesting that I don't know if she really fully understood how bad she was making it for other people. And now that they're doing it to her, I just gotta say, well, why is it that everyone else is able to stand and you can't? This really speaks.
People have been indicted. People have been publicly humiliated. People have been lied about. And they can take it. And that is, I think, I think it's two things. I think she's not built for this, right? She can dish it. She can terrorize. Because, think about it. When I first heard Jasmine Crockett's kind of statements about this, what I thought was, can you imagine, I can't remember where it came from, but there was this, person interviewing people and being like, hey, going at Trump rallies to white people and being like, would you trade positions with a black person? They're like, no, never. Because of course you wouldn't, right? Of course you wouldn't. Because you would have to experience the hellfire, the discrimination, the terror. the intrinsic systemic discrimination just built in to everyday life. On top of that, find the energy to get, that will stop you from upward mobility, stop you from getting a job, get you pulled over on your way home from a job interview. Like, you will be terrorized in ways you could never imagine. And you have to then work, learn to overcome that, stand back up, and then on top of that, mount the fight that you watch, get the education that Jasmine Crockett has. Mount and then fight on top, like you're seeing her fight in the Texas State House as in the constant minority of a super majority of terrifying racists, and then move from there to Congress and keep fighting when you have to fight some idiot named Marjorie Taylor Greene who's like, Q is a patriot, the Jewish space lasers are coming, and I'm gonna terrorize a black woman who's smarter than me because I feel insecure. Like, Marjorie cannot imagine finding the will inside her to fight. And that's I think what comes from being in the minority, or like what comes from being in a minority group, right? Or like the fight in like the trans community, like what it takes to pick yourself up and just go to the grocery store when you are going to be shit on is something that Marjorie Taylor Greene does not have it in her. She's a coward. She does not have the fight in her. Like, if you were a fighter, when Trump said, hey, I know all of your horrible secrets, they're all coming out, be like, good. Whatever I am, you are worse. Like, and that's the crazy part. I keep telling myself when I'm like, okay, I'm not a good person, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Like, Trump is the worst person I've could ever I am a 1,000,000% better person than Donald Trump, and he's sitting in the highest office in the country. Like, Margarine does not have what it takes, because like minorities are put through a proving ground. Like, every day you have to show up at elementary school, and your hair looks weird as a black girl. That's a fight. You are learning to fight, to like have the strength it takes to get up and fight. And like, Margarine, you're a coward. That's the thing. You had the backing of so much money and so much power, and you threw mud every chance you got. And the minute all that turned on you, where are you? You're a coward. I don't care what you're being blackmailed with. It can't possibly, unless you're a child sex trafficker, it's not worse than Trump. It can't possibly be worse than who that man is. Like, it cannot possibly be. So whatever he has on you, all I know is you're a coward. And what scares me most, the more I think about this and talk about it loud, is because I think she doesn't want to move left. I think she wants to move right. So she's got to drop out because it's not smart to fight now, right? She's going to move farther right and start a podcast and hang out with Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. That's what I actually think is about to happen. And she's going to be rich, and she's going to be Alex Jones. She can tell any lies she wants. I mean, until the lawsuits come in. That's my worst fear of who she's going to become now. And we'll get to that, because trust me, I have more on this. I just want to talk about Jake Ocean's. Well, I don't know if I have time right now. I love him, and he makes some good points, but I don't think I have time. Let me go to AOC. AOC, I think this is AOC's points. You know how Donald Trump made all those threats against Democrats? Oh, wait, hold on. Joby Wan Kenobi. Here's my weekly contribution to the Felice Needs a New Computer Fund. Hope you have an uneventful Thanksgiving. You're the best, Joby Wan. No, you're the best. Thank you. The Broken Computer Fund is right here, and I will add your money to it. Also, thank you, Bethany, starting $2 train. Let's go. Thank you so much. Sorry I didn't see this earlier. Marjorie makes me feel very angry. Computer Fund. Thank you, Triska, for the $10. We are almost there. Love you guys. I just want to play this clip. Thank you for the sunglasses of AOC this weekend, because I'm just like, I love this woman. And this is a woman also. This is my point. When you have to raise up from nothing and you are brown, like, you learn to fight, right? You learn, like, you have a hardened exterior. I don't think Margarine has ever faced a real fight in her life. Because you don't fold like a lawn chair the first time someone threatens you and run.
To be honest, the president's remarks I think, indicate a level of instability. It's not just shocking, it's not just offensive, it's bizarre, it is erratic, it's volatile. And I think it indicates a mental state that we should all be questioning right now, whether that's emotional, mental, what have you. It is not normal to make these accusations. It is not normal to invoke these kinds of threats of violence. And it's also not normal to also dramatically misquote, as Carolyn Leavitt was doing, what these members of Congress said. They made a very clear message to U.S. service members, which is that you do not have to obey an illegal order. And I think that's an important message to reiterate because this administration seems to be increasingly trying to go down that path. To be honest,
let me also show you, like, when you grow up in a way that you need to fight. I'm getting kind of passionate. Everyone remembers, because it's kind of ironic, Marjorie's deciding to fold like a lawn chair when she's attacked by her own friends. Remember Al Green? Because one of Margarine told many delusional lies in her 10-minute farewell video where she's trying desperately to crawl up onto her cross and crucify herself. And she's like, I impeached Department of Homeland Security Secretary Marcus. No, you didn't, weirdo. You tried to impeach Mayorkas, and then a real fighter unhooked his IVs and literally in a hospital gown wheeled himself into Congress and voted against you to stop you. Lauren Boebert impeached Mayorkas. Let's get it right, because some of us actually know what's going on. So let me show you what real fighters do. This was Al Green on Saturday talking about his fight. He's Al Green, the guy who stopped Margarine from impeaching Mayorkas by in a hospital gown that was open in the back. Literally, he is vowing to impeach Trump. Margarine from impeaching Mayorkas by from impeaching Mayorkas by from impeaching Mayorkas by from impeaching Mayorkas by
and there will be articles of impeachment voted on in the Congress of the United States.
Can you not hear me? Hold on. I can't hear the loop if there's loop. Can you guys go flip in? And, okay, we're okay. Because I can't hear. I'm hearing in my ears and I don't hear loop. Okay, good. Everything, it seems like it's okay. Because if it's not, I have no idea why. I can't fix that. It's like, that's a problem I can't fix.
There will be articles of impeachment filed.
I love that he's waving that cane, because one of the reasons he almost got censured, remember, like, this is my point why I was confused about what censuring someone in Congress was, because Republicans just show up and they're like, we're censuring everyone. I think they might have censured him, or they tried to. They said that he waved his cane around too much or something. Like, literally, I'm pretty sure Al Green was censured for waving his cane in people's faces. So that's why I was like, I thought we just censured people, like, when you were annoyed with them. I didn't understand it was like a final action after an ethics investigation, because Republicans use it differently.
And there will be articles of impeachment voted on in the Congress of the United States of America. We are not going to just file. We are going to have every member of Congress take a stand. This is a time for all of us to take a stand. You vote your conscience. My conscience tells me that I must vote to impeach a president who would put the lives of members of Congress at risk, a president who disrespects the Constitution, who doesn't believe in the separation of powers, who doesn't believe that people have a right to peacefully assemble and protest, a president who wants to be an authoritarian, who is devolving our democracy into a dictatorship. He must be impeached. He must be convicted. He must be removed. There will be
when I grow up, I'm gonna be Al Green. I swear. I'm working towards it. Like any day now. When I grow up, I will be waving a cane around and impeaching people like him. I love that man. So I'm just saying, Margarine, again, like, you don't have to be such a coward. You could also just look around and be like, oh, like, the fight is on. Let's fight now. If you don't know, today, I can't even say this. I'm not calling it the Department of War. I refuse. Because our astronaut, who is brilliant, we always worried in Arizona, will we ever replace John McCain? Someone the left and the right could possibly feel the same way about. And then we found our astronaut, Mark Kelly, who Trump, I don't know if you guys are aware of the new latest bullshit. Pete Kegsbreath released a statement this morning, right before I started my live, that they are going to call Senator Mark Kelly, astronaut Mark Kelly, 25 years in the Navy flying planes in combat Mark Kelly, back to active duty so they can court-martial him. That's their plan to shut Senator Mark Kelly up, which I actually think is a bad plan, because the thing about Arizona is you don't speak ill of John McCain, and now you don't speak ill of Mark Kelly. We did find a replacement we all seem to love. And remember, his wife is Gabby Giffords, the woman who was shot in the head in Tucson in political violence. And Trump's it's insane. Like, you come from Mark Kelly, the people of Arizona who have way too many pew-pews, not me, the rest of them, might have a problem with you.
We're a country of laws. Nobody swears loyalty to the president or anybody else in the chain of command, for that matter. The loyalty is to the Constitution and to the rule of law. So it's not going around anybody. We also didn't specifically mention, the president. We talked about the administration, and Congress has oversight responsibilities for the Department of Defense and all other executive branch departments. So, for us, this is part of our job. This is part of our responsibility. I serve on the Armed Services Committee, but I also spent 25 years in the Navy, Graham, and I know the challenges of that job. And I was shot at multiple times flying in combat. I, flew a rocket ship into space. Those are dangerous jobs. I didn't think my job
don't want to do this, but our senator is better than yours. So just saying, do you guys have a senator that flew a rocket ship into space that has a twin that also flew a rocket ship into space? I'm just pointing out, for once, Arizona made a good decision when we replaced John McCain. We found someone even more awesome. No, just kidding.
United States
we
Senate
love John McCain. We love him the most.
Would get more dangerous. I certainly do understand the risks, but I didn't expect that it would get more dangerous because the president wakes up one morning and decides that he didn't like something that I said and my colleagues said, and now he's going to call for our execution. He called for us to be hanged because he didn't like the words that came out of our mouths. We're a country of laws.
Here's my favorite part. I think if you're wondering where this interview happened, I believe this was on the Bulwark. Because, Mark Kelly, that's the thing. Mark Kelly is a mixture, right? John McCain didn't, not to say Mark Kelly's fine with women choosing what to do with their bodies and getting healthcare. Thank God. John McCain wasn't. But the thing is in Arizona, there's such polarizing opposites. It's you got to agree on someone, right? And it's we love Mark Kelly. We can all agree on. Look, and this is my favorite part of this thing that happened. Oh, no, wait. This was on 12 News. This part was on 12 News. So this is our local news station. So imagine this, my dad watches this news channel, which makes me happy.
Well, Donald Trump will do anything to extract more of his supporters' money out of their pockets into his pockets. He's going to look for every opportunity. Guns, Bibles, sneakers, meat, wine, bad university degrees. I mean, whatever he can to extract an extra nickel out of the pockets of people that support him, he will do. So I'm not surprised. Well, Donald.
Just say something. It takes me a lot to say this is a good compromise for Arizona. I don't love moderates, but I'm telling you, Mark Kelly is a fearless leader. And like the way he never blinks, like, let me show you what I'm talking about. Trump is trying, Pete Kegsbreath, who can, he's sobered up to have somebody else probably write this. Let's be honest, like, we don't know if Pete wrote any of this. We don't know if he can write. His wife probably wrote it while nursing him with more box of wine. We don't know. But this is from Ron Philip Cassie. So Hegseth is now threatening to recall Senator Mark Kelly to active duty in order to court-martial him, which would be the most amazing trial of all time, because yes, do platform Mark Kelly, and every last MAGA person in Arizona who was loyal to Trump will turn on you, because I'm telling you, you don't ever question Arizonans' love for Mark Kelly. It's very similar to John McCain. It's like we were like, I don't know, we can't attach to someone this quickly, we just lost John. And it's like Mark Kelly walks around and people are like, oh my God, it's John McCain reincarnate. The Department of War, which we're seriously doing this? We're doing this because it costs like millions upon millions of dollars to rebrand something. I just want you to know our tax dollars are paying for Trump to feel more like a man. The Department of War has received serious allegations of misconduct. Okay, Kegsbreath, who actually has serious allegations both during your time serving, and also there is that very credible 26-page police report of where you were credibly accused of rape while you were married to your first wife and had your Fox News producer pregnant with your now child, who is now, your current wife. And then you were in Santa Barbara at the Women's Republican Conference speaking, and then you allegedly and very credibly raped a woman whose husband and children were waiting for her to come back to her hotel room, who allegedly got an STI from you. You remember that. I'm just saying, just a person who can read, whatever. So anyways, whatever. We're calling into question people's character. Remember, this man has a 25-year history as a pilot in the Navy, then started flying spaceships to space alongside his twin brother, and whose wife is Gabby Giffords, who was also a congressperson who was pew-pewed in the head and survived it and went on a literal year-long campaign tour for Kamala Harris. And you're talking about what this guy's up to? We're fishing in the wrong place, because this is the only person, the far right and the far left of Arizona is I will die if you come for him. So good luck with that, Kegsbreath. My guess is you are not going to win this war. Okay. The Department of War has received serious allegations of misconduct against Captain Mark Kelly. I can't even read this. In accordance with the Uniform Code of Military Justice and other applicable regulations, a thorough review of these allegations has been initiated to determine further actions, which may include recall to active duty for court-martial proceedings, being hey, you're retired, you're now in active duty, and we're going to court-martial you, start a military trial against you. This matter will be handled in compliance with military law, something Pete Kegsbreath knows nothing about. Anyways, I just find this... Yeah, here's the thing. When Trump and other charlatans like Kegsbreath are faced with people who, are actually have integrity, they get so enraged they don't know what to do. Like, good luck. I do wish you luck against coming after Mark Kelly. I myself looked for several reasons to hate him. And I mean that. Like, I tried to find what was wrong with him when he was running for Congress. And I'm telling you, for some reason, he's not you, Trump. He's not a creeper. He's not a rapist. He's not a child diddler. He's not any of the things allegedly you may or may not have done. You too, Keg's Breath. He's not randomly assaulting women at conferences, allegedly giving Republican blonde-haired, blue-eyed women STIs and paying them for their silence. I don't believe any allegedly. I mean, not the paying off of silence. That is real. But, whatever. I just don't think you're going to have the same luck you might going after a Republican. I don't think it's going to go that way for you. I have 2 more clips of Mark Kelly because, kind of directly speaking. Well, I'm trying to decide. Do I want to play wait, what is this? No, I kind of want to flip. I'll play more about Mark Kelly because I'm going to wait and see the court martial, whatever Keg's Breath is up to, saying that they're going to call him to active duty and court martial him. I don't have clips of him after that's happened. I actually think they're going to look more the same as these, which after they called for his hanging, which was like, yeah, I've had real problems in space where I thought I was going to die. And if Trump thinks him saying something about me scares me, he's wrong. That's how John McCain was. You could never get an emotional reaction from him. So yeah, I don't think we'll ever see. He'll just be like, yeah, that's embarrassing and weird. I do just want to show or play this video before this ends too. This is from, God, I always get them confused, Brett Meiselas. And let me just show the title of this article in case anyone wants to get into it, because more information is coming out every minute about this. So, which some people are like, oh, he did it accidentally. I don't believe it. I think little Elon Musk, little Elmo, Space Karen, is still kind of bitter about how he was thrown out of Congress. Now Doge is being disbanded. So all of a sudden a feature pops up on X, which again, I'm glad you don't know and you shouldn't go on there because it's a dangerous place. So all of a sudden a feature pops up on X where every single account, it says where the account originated from, which, okay, cool. I mean, that makes me uncomfortable because I really would prefer people didn't know where I was to come out and lie to me. But the problem is all of the MAGA accounts, it turns out none of them are in America. Shocking, right? We've talked about this. These aren't some of the biggest MAGA influencers. I think I tried to highlight some. Let me see. No, wait, hold on. There's a couple of clips. Seeing all these MAGA accounts. This is easily this is Harry's post about it. This is easily one of the greatest days on this platform, seeing all of these MAGA accounts get exposed as foreign actors trying to destroy the United States. Yeah, but these are foreign actors most likely being paid by Trump. I don't think people understand how the internet works. It's not like randos in Africa and are just this is interesting to me to do this. No, they're being paid. This is what Russia does. The Wagner Group that has this giant base. The Wagner Group is the private paid Russian army. Sorry if no one knows. And they operate, they have a huge base in Africa. And this is one of their, this is what I keep saying. Americans, MAGA idiot white males are always we gotta be prepared for war. We gotta get more warships in the South China Sea because what's China up to? They're up to the internet. That's what everyone's up to, you dummies. Oh, do we need another giant aircraft carrier? And everyone else is just... America has already got online. the right flank of America has been infiltrated by Russian disinformation. It already happened. We don't need an aircraft carrier to protect you dummies from yourselves. It's over. You got God. You guys are idiots. It's over. The war happened on X, and your brains lost the war. It's over. We don't need to get more boats in the Pacific Ocean. You guys are dumb, and we already lost. Literally. I want to see, this one. Look, I personally, MAGA Nation, it's at MAGA Nation X, 392.7 thousand followers. Wait, hold on. Where does it say? And now you can see this, it shows up. This is the feature Elon turned on so everyone would know he wasn't who they said they were. Eastern Europe. These are Russian accounts or Eastern non-EU, right? So Russia. Here's another one. News. This is like an Ivanka Trump fan account that has 1 million followers. I have been so disturbed by some of the things this account posted. Nigeria. Shocking. We're shocked, but we're not shocked. And you tell me what Elon would turn on this video. And he's like, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, I think Elon's very angry he's like a child whose toys were taken away. And he's like, oh, okay, if you don't like me anymore, I don't like you anymore. We'll see, I'll take your toys away. This is total Armageddon for the online right. It's looking like half of their large accounts were foreigners posing as American. They're not foreigners. I can't believe, no offense, even the left, how do you guys not know how the internet works? These are huge farms that are paid by people. MAGA is paying, and not just I'm not talking about bots. I'm saying, imagine I'm trying to think the right way to say this. What is it called? A sweatshop where there's thousands of sewing machines and they're making clothes for Nike. So these same sweatshops exist for the internet, and it's not bots. Bots are algorithms and fake people. Imagine that there are millions of phones in a warehouse, and there are these workers making cents a day setting up these accounts. That is what it is. Troll farms, but probably to me, troll farms are let me just give you the levels of this as I know it, because I used to sell advertising in the tech industry, or I worked for a tech company that wanted people, a huge social media company that wanted people to buy advertising. So my job was to work with the huge ad agencies in New York. And this is when they were developing their strategy around this. Some ad agencies are okay, we can get, you can buy for people, you can buy followers through bots. Those are fake, right? That's an algorithm of fake people. Then there's people these are humans. Those are bot farms, which I guess people troll farms, but I would call them, it's human beings in some place, in a sweatshop, creating personas and following accounts. And then there's super expensive things, which is what MAGA's doing, where you develop these personas, and it's hi, I'm this person, which a lot of times, can be done by the CIA or whatever. It's scary to watch. And Elma decided, I'm mad and I want to show everyone that all MAGA accounts are fake. And I'll get into this more tomorrow, but this, if you want to look into it, is again, the Daily Beast article. Let me just remember what it's called, because I can't. Top MAGA influencers accidentally unmasked as foreign trolls. Well, Elon Musk oops, I don't believe for 1 second any of this was an accident. That's delusional. None of this happens as an accident. But I want to show, Brett Meiselis also made a video about it. And I downloaded it from Instagram, which I thought it was a good video. And then I noticed today that Ron Filipkowski also put out another article with literally a list of here's all the fake accounts. But again, don't go on X. It's a very unsafe, terrible place where you will be terrorized for the rest of your life. But for me personally, is it great to know that, like, I'm not crazy and none of these accounts who are stalking me are real? Yeah, it's nice.
MAGA is freaking out right now because Twitter, which prefers to identify as X, released this new feature in which you could actually see the country of origin of an account, and it's now being revealed that a lot of these MAGA accounts out there with hundreds of thousands of followers that have a big influence online are actually based in other countries. The way my jaw stayed in place. So I could literally go through like 1,000 of these accounts, but I'll show you just a few. Like this account, America First Verified. Well, turns out this account is based in Bangladesh. How about America Man, based in Indonesia? What about MAGA Nadine over here? Oh, it's probably some dude based in Morocco. Okay, Mary Tiles, Texas, you sure post a lot of pro-MAGA stuff online. Oh wait, you're from Russia? Interesting. Like I said, I could keep going and going. Nigeria. This is a major account that always gets Elon Musk's attention. This is based in India. This Ivanka Trump fan account based in Nigeria. This big MAGA account is based in Papua New Guinea. This one's from Serbia. Ultra MAGA Trump 2028, Nigeria. Dark MAGA Coin, Thailand. The MAGA Beacon, South Asia. MAGA Nation, Eastern Europe. Aaron Trump News, Eastern Europe. I think this definitely confirms what a lot of us thought but couldn't definitively prove, but now this feature is live. If you're on Twitter, if you're on X, you could see this on anybody's accounts. So just think about the foreign influence operations that are happening right now on this app. Think about the lawmakers who feel pressured by accounts like this. Think about the disinformation that spreads as a result of all these accounts out there. So in addition to the foreign influence angle, I actually see a simpler explanation for a lot of these accounts, and that's the fact that X pays their content creators for their posts, specifically their verified content creators who engage with other verified content creators. And so in this case, you can imagine somebody living in India or Bangladesh wanting to figure out how they can make a few extra $100 a month.
Let me just say something. He's believing that random people in third world countries are building these. I think that is not, like, that's a misunderstanding of how the internet works. In my opinion, just as someone who lived in Silicon Valley and watched when bot farms rose up. First of all, that account, he's like, oh, this one, Doge designer in India. Let me just say something. Elon Musk, most of the engineers working for X now are in India. So actually, there's a high possibility that that's like one of his actual mods. I'm telling, like, there's a very high percentage chance, like, that is a person he knows. So I actually don't know about that one, because I do know I've watched Elon in a lot of Spaces accounts and like his mods, and some of them are in India. So I actually don't know if that's correct. And let me just say, I agree that there's a lot of money to be made this way, but it is very hard to build up these type of accounts and get to this point without capital. And people who live off $1, $2 a day to build up these type of accounts, that's very difficult without capital. Yeah. I don't know if I think it's individually innocent people who are like, I'll dedicate my life to this and I have the strength of the internet and the money to make it happen without any other influence behind it. Like, it's very serious. What do they call those people? The Yahoo boys? Like, when you look into, Netflix has really gotten into like these love scams, you know, and these huge scams coming out of Nigeria. It's a conglomerate of people working together to get money. And in some cases that are largely being funded by political groups. Thomas Massey is one of the people that's talked about how he has information and can prove that millions of dollars has been spent by Trump to have bot farms and actual people attack, and MAGA influencers, which turns out are people in other countries who are for hire, to attack him. These are people who are paid by MAGA to attack people that go against them, and that's how they make money. Like, it's not as, and the ones coming from Russia, like, use your brain. That's KGB. Like, this is insane. Like, it's not random Billy in third world country who somehow scrounged together by like milking and selling goat milk that like, and somehow got a high speed Wi-Fi connection to do this. It's way more organized than that. Just to be clear, Usman probably did. Brooke, are you talking about the Usman from 90 Day? Don't do Usman like that. He's actually... That's so funny that I know what you're talking about. I need help. I need to stop watching Don't watch a 90 Day Fiance. You don't know what we're talking about. By the way, Illusion, I just saw your super chat. Love your receipts. I'm buying what you're selling. I don't want to tell you, but an internal dispute within my family is developing. It's 4:41, and I have to go because my mother is going to attack me if I'm not at our family gathering. So just pray for me. Tomorrow, whatever happens is, I mean, as long as you see me, because there's not a horrible thing that happened tonight. I definitely want to show you guys, because it's like, I always talked about, I have this whole presentation. Like, I've saved up hundreds of clips prior to Mamdani being elected of like all sorts of things, like him being disparaged, him talking in the media. And I have never seen anything like what happened with him and Trump on Friday. I want to talk about it because I think it's like actually a master class, and it taught me a lot about, like I always say, when someone enters the game, let's say enters the chat, like the smartest people in the room, you don't need to be threatened by someone. You just say like, hey, like I can learn something from every single person in the room. And like what I learned from Mamdani on Friday, I think is invaluable. And it's like, I don't know what to call him. Like I'm almost, I never thought there would be a more polished Pete Buttigieg, but I have never seen somebody, who's as good as him. And this makes me sick to say. Before he became mentally unstable and insane, that's how I would, like when I used to see, God, I don't even want to say it, Couch Boy. He used to be able, no. Listen, Couch Boy could have been somebody before he became the guy with stains on his shirt talking to MBS. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the guy who now twice, and the second time this weekend, Usha had no ring on and was cornered, and they're like, why don't you have your ring on? Like, that woman is like, get me the out of here. Couch Boy, you are about to be left. Like, you have biracial children and somehow are a white nationalist promoting like violence against immigrants. Like, Usha's like, eject. How do I get out of here? And she's like, oh, like, I just don't have my ring on because, like, I had to wash my hands, like, for the second or third time within, like, 2 months. She's like, I need to get out of here. So tomorrow we're going to go through the Mamdani masterclass of how to snake charm Trump, which is either brilliant or it's like the calm before Trump unalives someone. I don't know. Like, let's just hope this is not a Malcolm X situation. But I think Mamdani's a brilliant person. Truly. Like, I've never... I don't see him that often, like, with real opponents just being like, hey, like, let me show you how you disarm someone. Let me show you how you... like take someone who wants to fight you and you're just like, hey, calm down, sir, like everything's gonna be okay. It's just like I kept picturing it. It's like he's like, what is happening? Did he drug him? Like, what is everything gonna be okay? Like, it's like by the end of it was like Mamdani just stood there smiling while Trump's like, leave Mamdani alone, he's a great guy. And I was like, what is happening? Okay, look. And that's like, we should all watch that as a master. Like, anybody that wants to be a politician anywhere while Trump is alive needs to just, Mamdani, what is that? There's like, not Patreon, but there's like some company, it's called like Masterclass or whatever, and you can like take lessons from like billionaires or whatever, like people. Mom Dummy needs to put on like a master class of like snake charming Trump. Like, I have never in my life seen what I witnessed in there. I was like, something's wrong. I can't even. So we're going to go over that tomorrow or later tonight. It just depends. I'm going to my nephew's 3rd birthday, which will either be the red wedding or it'll be a lovely time where we all watch toddlers play with each other. We don't know. So wish me luck, because I can hear rumblings outside this room. I have to go now or I'm going to be in trouble. I love you all. Wish me luck. Later, Gate.